Just doing some Mushi chill. I don't remember what I have set for my buttons here. How did I do this? I'm definitely rusty in this game, but I enjoy it. And I was trying to stream like 15 minutes ago, and when you have 3 monitors and you try to this particular version of the game, now I'm talking, this particular version of the game, if you try to change it from full screen to windowed mode before you get into the game, I don't know, my whole computer just crashed and locked up. Don't understand it. Totally got messed up there. Hey, Fudio. I'm not sure. I think it comes down to preference in terms of whether you want to play Mushi or Futari first. And if you're new to Mushi completely, You know, they both have a novice mode, which is it's a pretty good way to get started, I think. I think Futari is the better game, but you know, this game is good too in its own right, and it came first. So I would say pick whichever version of Mushi you're most interested in and play the novice mode. What platforms do you have to play on? You're welcome. I've played a lot more Futari than I have of this version, and I feel like I'm just better at Futari. Oh my god. But a lot of people do consider this one to be easier. But I guess because I played Futari so much, I consider Futari to be easier. Cool, yeah. So this this version is on Steam and Switch for this game, and then Futari, your only real options for Futari is the 360 or emulation, unfortunately. Hopefully that'll change sometime in the not so distant future. I think that's one thing about cave games, though, is most of us mere mortals, have to put in our time, put in our hours. What shmups are you playing right now? Yeah, there should be a way to get it working. I have the 360 version, so I play that usually. Ooh, Denmaku 3. Cool. Well, good luck with those runs. Do you stream at all? Do you post those on YouTube? Cool. R-Type 3 is awesome. I'll have to check that out. The Dimensions version of that game is going to be out, I think, in May, I want to say. Oh, so terrible. So terrible. How do you feel about the commentary? I feel like, if you have a 30-minute 1cc, it's a lot of talking. Oops, I did not mean to say that. Terrible, terrible, terrible mistake. Yeah, thanks. I generally feel like if I'm talking, sometimes I get into a focus mode, but other times I get distracted. I don't know. It could go either way. So just being rusty in this session that I won't be on for too long, I would just want to, at this point, maybe get to the stage 3 boss, and that'll be progress making or peeling off some of the layers of rust. I'm still at a part of my shmup journey where I'm still just sampling everything, and I sometimes find it hard to focus on a particular game for a very long period of time. And since cave games, at least for me, they take more time than others, I focused on 1cc's that are pretty, I guess, on the easier side and on the quicker side, because then I could bounce around a little bit more. But I do have to hunker down and knock some of these off my list. That was not cool. Unforced error. Oh yeah, if you're going for score 2, yeah. I feel like it's a second layer. That was a poorly timed bomb. Yeah, if I could just make it to the next stage, I'll feel pretty good about it. A little progress for the night. Yeah, that's pretty good. So the Switch version of this game came with a chiptune version of the soundtrack done by PeepoSoft. And this particular song, the way they covered it was awesome. But interestingly, unlike some other versions of the game, or versions of games, where they have like a chiptune arrange, but they put it in the game. But for these cave ports, it was this, Escaluda 2, and Dodonpachi Resurrection. All three of them had chiptune arranged soundtracks done by PeepoSoft. They were all good. I think the Mushi one was the best. But none of them are in the game, which is interesting. Because if it was, I would totally set that chiptune range as the music. Give it a little variety. Ugh. Yeah, for sure. And I think that's why I like Futari better, because the visuals in Futari are just a whole extra level. Just really, really good. They just improved on everything for that game, for the sequel. I think I'm going to stick with the S-Power. That was close. Oh, look over at the chat. I think S power is a little bit more narrow, therefore I think it has a little bit more DPS. Whereas the W shot is wider, would have lower DPS. And then I think the M shot is the more balanced, somewhere in between the two, if I'm not mistaken. And my whole rhythm for this run just got shot. But instead of quitting now, I usually like to play it out, see how far I can get. It helps me psychologically knowing that I have no lives left. See, I think the M is balanced, even though it's kind of wide. I think wide is lower DPS, and S, since it's narrower, has higher DPS. I'll have to look that up to double verify. I look over at the chat again. I gotta stop doing that. Lost my rhythm again. Cut back a little too soon there. All right, I didn't look over that time. I'm with you on consistency. I agree. You know, you get in your own head and you're like, okay, I just need to not make any mistakes. And then, of course, then you start to make all kinds of mistakes. Then you get tilted and you're like, all right, now I'm making more mistakes. Sometimes I'll just walk away, come back fresh. And that's why I like to skip over to different games or switch over to different games. Have a couple of games that I'm a lot better at to fall back on, build some confidence back up. Like that is totally avoidable. It's like all about not, or at least trying to not self-sabotage, right? Because you're looking at how many lives you have, and you're like, oh, I don't have many lives, so I'm not going to make it. Then you're like, how far am I away from the extend? You're like, I'm too far. Might as well go back now. And you start playing mind games with yourself. That's all part of it. But that's the cool thing about Shmups, because if you could overcome that stuff, that's why it's like so rewarding when you finally do it. I was cruising for a bruise in there. Yeah, I agree with that. It's definitely mental. I love this song. A little bit of the pendulum swing back and forth here. I really like their take on having an entire stage boss, the dismantling of the ship kind of trope, but instead it's this giant insect. And in my mind, I'm just like, I just want to get a little further than I did last time I made it this far. I don't know. Now just spending my bombs, and resources are not that plentiful in this game. So I don't know what I was thinking, spending all my bombs. Getting tight here. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, here, you know what? Let me see. My channel's not monetized, so I don't think it matters, but let me just play like a couple of seconds of that Peepo Soft version. So, let's see. Then I'm going to have to call it anyways. But let me sort by title so I can find Mushi. Here it is. That was, oh. Not that one. They're in Japanese, so now I can't hear it. Yeah, this is a little taste of that chiptune version. So yeah, it's really cool. All right, so Fudio, I will say thank you for stopping by the stream today. I am subscribing to your channel right now. I appreciate you. And I'm going to take a look at your R-Type 3 commentary, and I'll take a look at your Danmaku Unlimited 3 video a little bit later when it's time to hit the hay. And stay in touch. I don't know if you're on Twitter or other places. But yeah, stay connected, and we will keep on shmupping.